The following is produced by 5 Star Productions USA, which is solely responsible for its editorial content and is sponsored in part by a grant from Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care.
Military doctrine states, know your enemy. But in 1990, for instance, the United States spent $303 billion to protect us against military threats and only $14 billion on environmental ones. American health and well-being, however, is threatened far more from pollutants and contaminants right here in our own air, soil, and water than any foreign invaders. So maybe it's time to rethink our strategy. Hi, I'm Corey James, and this is Today's Environment, where we highlight some of today's strategies and action plans involved in the campaign to sustain the Earth. Leave no stone unturned. When looking for waste to recover, we can often find opportunities in very unexpected places. This next segment explores another way to turn waste into a resource.
It's a fact of life. Industrial machines often leak, drip, and cause spills. Oils, lubricants, refrigerants, hydraulic fluids, and other industrial solutions often end up on a factory floor, one drop at a time. And cleaning up those fluids can cost time, money, and resources. Until recently, most oil-soaked absorbent clays got tossed into the trash and sent to an early grave in a landfill. Since many companies are now examining all aspects of their operations for environmental improvement, proper handling of absorbent products and their disposal has come under close scrutiny. Cradle-to-grave liability now makes businesses responsible for where their waste fluids end up. One environmentally preferable way to capture and remove fugitive fluids could be with one of these launderable sorbets developed by Absorbtech, a division of Industrial Towel and Uniform Incorporated. These quilted pads, floor mats, and socks soak in oil and other industrial fluids. The super-absorbent textile construction absorbs, wicks, and holds the liquid until a special cleaning process separates the soils from the reusable textiles. And environmentally, not only can the textiles be reused, but what they soaked up can also be recycled. In the Absorbtech cleaning facility, computer-controlled processing equipment releases the soils and fluids from the sorbets and facilitates wastewater treatment and recovery. The mats, pads, and socks are laundered and then sent back for another tour of duty on the factory floor. They can be reused between 20 and 80 times. The wastewater is then sent for pre-treatment, where most of the oil and dirt is separated from the water. This layer of oils and soils is then skimmed off, leaving only the water and reactivated detergent. The oils and soils go through a filtration process that separates them into waste oils and solids. The reclaimed waste oils can be sold as an energy-saving secondary fuel or recycled. The soils, sands, lint, and other solids get compressed into a cake-like substance, which is regularly tested and can be safely disposed of in a normal landfill. Often the water and detergent can be used again in the laundering process, and when it's ultimately discharged to the municipal treatment plant, the pre-treatment process renders it cleaner than allowable release standards.
Reusable superabsorbent textiles can help eliminate 120,000 tons a year of disposable absorbent waste that's currently being dumped into landfills. And to add to the environmental advantages, our system also eliminates the thousands of gallons of oils and greases and fluids now carried in disposable absorbent materials from entering the landfill. By reducing that waste stream destined for the landfill, we can decrease the potential for contamination to the groundwater.
Reusable absorbent textiles can help manufacturers significantly reduce their environmental liability for the drips and small spills which are part of almost any production process. And if we can reclaim those fluids and reuse the absorbent materials, good housekeeping in a manufacturing facility might help keep the earth a lot more tidy.
Here's an idea. Bring a coffee cup to work and leave it there. You might keep about 200 disposable cups out of the trash. Convince enough other people to do it, and you may save a landfill. Get involved with Today's Environment today.
Did you ever try to fix a leak yourself? Well, sometimes the toughest part of the job is just getting to the pipe. That's especially true when the pipelines run under highways, sidewalks, or buildings. This next idea may help solve that problem. It's an amazing world underground. Subterranean networks of pipes, power lines, and cables crisscross the nation and provide many of the services we've come to accept as part of everyday life.
But the elements in the soil can be a harsh environment, especially for a water or sewer line. Nothing lasts forever, and that's especially true for concrete or clay sanitary sewer pipes. And when a sewer pipe does spring a leak, wastewater headed for a treatment plant escapes untreated into the soil and potentially to groundwater.
Repairing damaged water and sewer lines used to require digging up the earth, or the street, or the sidewalk. But now that practice could be changing.
There's a sewer line being repaired right now in Dania, Florida by Madsen Bar Corporation. This U-shaped high-density polyethylene pipe developed by Pipeliners Incorporated of New Orleans, Louisiana is inserted into a damaged pipe and then reforms back into its cylindrical shape, forming a seamless new pipe within a pipe. A leaky sewer line can perform like new again without a shovel of earth ever being disturbed.
Here's how it works. The process starts with this closed-circuit video camera.
The camera goes right into the pipe and gives technicians an insider's view of exactly what's going on in there. Leaks, corrosion, faults, scale, and other problems can be quickly seen and identified. The flexible, high-density polyethylene U-liner pipe is deformed into a U-shape during the manufacturing process, so it can be coiled in long, continuous lengths. This allows the length of the new pipe to run the entire distance of the section to be repaired with no breaks, joints, seams, or connectors. A cable fed from the downstream manhole connects to the U-liner pipe upstream and guides it through the existing pipe. Once inside the pipe, steam and pressure stimulate the polyethylene to remember its original cylindrical shape, and it forms a tight, new, high-density polyethylene pipe inside the old pipe. A cutter mounted behind the camera then goes into the new pipe to find the house service connections. It cuts out those areas so the system can flow freely once again. Another environmental plus for this sort of pipe rehabilitation lies in the lining material. It's made of regular polyethylene, so it can be manufactured from recycled plastic, and it too can be recycled.
If you consider the millions of tons and miles of old leaky pipes crisscrossing the nation, the process of tearing them out and replacing them would be a staggering waste of energy, materials, and ultimately landfill space.
Being able to rehabilitate those dripping, oozing lines and keep them in service for another 50 years and beyond could save an enormous amount of natural resources and possibly buy us enough time for technology to provide an even better solution.
When you think about it, I guess what I'm saying is that if we can keep our scientists' minds in the sewer, well, then we may help stop our environment from going down the drain.
In a moment, today's environment explores a landfill that generates electricity from waste and fuel substitutes in a cement plant to reduce waste.
Hey, come on, roll over. Hey, who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Some of the most progressive environmental solutions are coming from industries that have been with us for a very long time. This next segment explores one.
We may be at the dawn of a new Stone Age. That might sound like a step backwards, but environmentally, it could be a leap into a better tomorrow. Cement, the glue that holds concrete together, may cast a future of reduced waste in stone. Some Portland cement plants, like this one operated by Holman Incorporated, routinely recycle waste into resources. Many solid wastes, including the thousands of tons of spent coal residue from power plants called fly ash, used to be sent directly to landfills. But innovative cement manufacturers discovered that selected wastes can be used as fuel substitutes, and that fly ash can be used as a replacement for some of the cement and concrete. To manufacture cement, a large rotary kiln heats the components, limestone, sand, clay, and iron ore, to more than 2,450 degrees Fahrenheit. The fuel needed to heat the enormous furnace offers another opportunity to rid the planet of both solid and liquid waste. Burning used industrial solvents, dry cleaning fluids, paint thinners, and other solid and liquid wastes, which are classified as hazardous primarily because of their high flammability, allows for safe disposal of this waste and reclamation of energy at the same time.
This practice significantly cuts down on the amount of coal, oil, and other non-renewable fossil fuels that we at the plant would otherwise require.
The company has created citizens advisory groups at many of its plants in an effort to enhance public participation and to stay close to issues within the communities. Air pollution controls and a constant vigil at the emission monitors ensures that plants conform to the EPA clean air guidelines, no matter what the fuel source. Even used tires, a blemish on our national landscape and an overwhelming problem for our landfills, well, these can be used as fuel also. Nothing gets wasted. The rubber fuels the kiln, and the steel belts supplement the iron used as a raw material in the cement. This Holman plant in Clarksville, Missouri recently won a National Energy Award from the U.S. Department of Energy for the programs it has put into place to conserve energy throughout the entire production process. They were the first in the industry to install a mid-kiln emission sampler to accurately measure combustion efficiency inside the kiln. You simply cannot make cement without mining, but spent quarries can be reclaimed. This tranquil meadow used to be an open quarry, but now it provides over 200 acres for farmland. 2 other retired quarries were converted into lakes and a nature preserve. Few people associate cement and concrete with the words high-tech, but now it's helping to reduce waste and conserve energy and raw materials for a later generation. Maybe things don't have to be new to be on the cutting edge.
Here's a good reason for dancing in the moonlight. To run a 100-watt light bulb for 1 year, you must burn 400 pounds of coal. Hey, if you don't need that light, turn it off. And get involved with today's environment today.
No one likes to pay taxes, but that money helps to pay for many of the structures, facilities, and systems that keep our society going. But servicing today's needs is no longer enough. The infrastructure should also help preserve tomorrow. Here's a closer look.
Vital organs, the brain, heart, arteries, and many other body parts form the intricate system that keeps us alive, active, and in good running order. Just like the human body, the anatomy of a working city needs vital installations to function properly. Hospitals, schools, conference centers, water and sewer lines, power plants, transportation networks, and waste facilities name only a few of the systems needed to sustain a thriving community. It's called infrastructure, and in many cities these vital components were constructed decades ago when the word environment was a seldom heard word hidden in the dictionary. But now, as these older facilities are renovated, repaired, or replaced, new designs can keep both people and the earth in mind. Like this landfill that generates electricity from waste. Designed by engineers and scientists from Rust Environment and Infrastructure, it captures the gases from this covered landfill and uses them to generate enough electricity to power thousands of homes. It's part of a nationwide network of gas-to-energy facilities that create enough power to eliminate the need for 2 million barrels of oil. Other landfills are often designed with an eye toward the future, when the site is returned to nature or the community as a recreation area. A team of engineers and scientists from the same company also designed this wastewater treatment plant that cleans millions of gallons of wastewater each day. Mere function is no longer enough. New designs should also enhance the natural and urban environments. Integrating sound environmental principles and socioeconomic concerns into the engineering designs helps produce systems that can be environmentally sound, yet practical in their operation. The environment and our infrastructure are not mutually exclusive. It's the job of firms like Rust to make them work together. Practical environmentalists can strive for solutions that protect both the urban and natural environment while they meet the needs of communities and businesses. One basic key to achieving a sustainable society lies in conceiving and engineering human systems that complement and support natural ones. Many structures exist primarily to address a specific environmental need. Others offer a mixed array of challenges and opportunities as they provide necessary services for people and businesses. The modern city faces the quandary of delivering increased services with a reduced environmental impact. And today's engineers and scientists hold much of the key to meeting that challenge. If they can create vital facilities that protect and enhance the environment in and around our cities, then they may help provide the basic anatomy for a very healthy planet. An active oil field that's a plant and animal habitat preserve, plus producing high-tech silicon wafers without damaging the planet, next on Today's Environment.
Are people a menace to this planet? Well, consider this. At a time when more humans live on the Earth than ever before, an estimated 10% of all species of life are endangered. Many creatures call the Earth home, and this next idea explores how we can share home a little better.
Room to roam. As expanding populations and sprawling cities devour more and more acreage in their quest to develop and farm, many animals and plant species have had to surrender the habitat they thrived on for centuries. Whether you're a kit fox, a blunt-nosed leopard lizard, or Tipton kangaroo rat, you can't simply catch the next train for the coast. The encroachment of civilization and agriculture can often mean wildlife extinction. Many local, state, and federal government agencies are making it mandatory for industry, developers, and other businesses to balance the impact of their operations on the environment. Before being issued the proper permits, mitigation plans and biological surveys must be approved and documentable. Arco Western Energy, a unit of the Atlantic Richfield Company, voluntarily established the Coles Levee Ecosystem Preserve with the California Department of Fish and Game. These 6,000 acres that make up the preserve serve a dual purpose. It functions as an active oil and gas field, and it's also managed as an endangered plant and animal habitat preserve and educational nature center. While pumps pull the oil from under the ground, fish and game officials, company employees, and various environmental groups teach school children, nature clubs, and other groups about the diverse ecosystems that exist on the preserve. The company voluntarily set aside this vast acreage as an endangered species habitat, which in return has streamlined their permitting process and provided needed mitigation credits for their continued operation and management of the preserve. This field already earned its place in history. During World War II, the oil pumped here provided much of the needed aircraft fuel that eventually toppled Hitler and Hirohito's empires. Although its best years are past, the field's new assignment as a thriving habitat may extend the life and ultimate survival of many endangered plants and animals. Since the vast preserve contains so much habitat, ARCO is able to sell some of its mitigation credits to other businesses and government agencies going through the permitting process. This helps reduce the costs and time spent in permitting and pays for many additional habitat enhancements and programs, while it gives those projects that are in the permitting process an efficient, workable, and documentable mitigation plan. Many of the endangered species that live in the preserve are nocturnal and rarely appear during the day. But when the sun goes down, the animals come out, and the nightlife out here is definitely wild. Partnerships between public and private entities for the protection of threatened and endangered plants and animals, like the nationally recognized Coles Levee Ecosystem Preserve, can help achieve a sustainable balance between economic and environmental interests. On an Earth where every living organism affects the life of all the others, saving one species of plant or one family of animals may be the key to our own survival.
It all boils down to attitude. Every one of us has the ability to change wasteful and polluting habits, but do we have the desire? The right attitude can get results. This may be a good example. Everyone knows sand makes a great beach, but maybe you didn't realize that these lowly grains also provide the basis for solid-state high-tech products like solar panels, digital electronics, and complex computers.
The silicon wafer, so vital in today's technology, comes from the silicas found in ordinary sand. But the transformation of this abundant substance from a beach to a microchip involves a technology which once depended on ozone-depleting CFC-based chemicals and smog-forming volatile organic compounds. Many scientists and engineers are working to develop cleaner processes which will allow production of silicon wafers without damaging the planet. This silicon wafer manufacturing plant, operated by MEMC Electronic Materials, is an example of how proactive management can aggressively reduce and eliminate the pollution from their processes.
In 1989, they committed to a global company goal to reduce hazardous air emissions by 80%, decrease priority waste by 50%, and completely eliminate ozone-depleting substances from manufacturing processes.
By 1993, all of these goals were met, and a continuous environmental program is ongoing. The multinational effort spanned 3 continents and required precise coordination and a grassroots support from all employees. New clean and even no clean technologies were explored, and totally new processes were developed to eliminate chemical usage or seek planet-friendly replacement substances. If a targeted process could not be changed, pollution control devices were installed to reduce the ecological impact. MEMC has received 5 major state, international, and other professional awards for quality, energy, and environmental health and safety during the 6 years since its formation in 1989.
Winning awards are great, but we find that being kinder to the environment is also very good for business as well as taking care of the earth. Worldwide, we're enjoying dramatic savings in reduced handling fees for the waste that is generated and a significant reduction in operating liabilities.
The electrical, chemical, and thermal properties of silicon make it the preferred material for the solid-state circuits and semiconductors our society uses every single day. Silicon chip-based technology can produce 3D computer modeling that helps us to better manage our environment in many ways. And as the industry continues to manufacture in a more planet-friendly way, we can expect to repair the Earth in a more solid state.
I bet you had no idea that cow manure is being used as a fuel in a unique California utility, and that it currently generates electrical power for 20,000 homes. Our brains are truly our most valuable resource. The human ability to think, learn, and imagine allows us to conceive of ways to solve virtually any problem we face. This show highlighted some good solutions, and we hope that what you learned ignites your imagination and makes you think. Join us again next time as we explore more environmental solutions on Today's Environment.
The preceding program was sponsored in part by a grant from Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care. This has been a presentation of 5 Star Productions USA.